Welcome to part 6 of the epistles of John. Welcome to part 6 of the epistles of John, and consider it done, my Lord. I was praying about something, and the Lord just gave me an answer to it. So, anyways, this is the 6th part of the epistles of John, May the 20th, 2024, by man's calendar. And as I was saying in the last part coming out, I'm firing on all cylinders today, Lord. One thought at a time. One thought at a time. Sometimes I just get spiritual overloads and I get too many thoughts in at one time. And my heart, ever since I was a child, only wanted to help others for the Lord. Always. That was all I ever really focused on, mostly. In my mind, Jesus gave me my gifts from my birth up, see? And so in my mind, it was always that the Lord gave this for His purpose. Excuse me. The Lord gave this for His purpose. So it's my duty to do that thing. To follow Him and to do whatever He asked me to do. Now, did I always do that? No, because there was times when I cringed in the corner and was afraid to speak His truth to people because I was shy and backwards and I didn't know how to address certain things. I hadn't been taught these things. That's why I was talking about the child. If you take it and set it down and you don't teach it nothing, what's it going to learn? Only what is set before it. That's what I had. What was set before me. I got bits and pieces of this here and this there. But the Lord used those bits and pieces and He tweaked them here and He tweaked them there. And He talked to me Himself. Because my mind was open to hearing His voice. And could you imagine if He had decided when He come here, after He walked for a while as one of us, if He decided, well, there's still scrap. There's still scrap. I ain't going to do this. I ain't going to die for Him. We would have no hope today of ever getting back to Him. So I, for one, thank Him that He didn't say that we were scrap and that He went on. Give me just a moment. That He went on. I can finish this thought. I get emotional about some of this stuff. They chose Barabbas, a murderer, over Him to be their leader. They didn't love Barabbas, mind you. They just wanted someone to revolt against the Roman Empire that they thought would fight for them. That they thought would fight for them let me reiterate, that they thought would fight for them because he was loud and abrasive and massive in size and stature, and he was mean, and he didn't mind to kill people, and they thought that's what they needed in order to take back the kingdom, or to take the kingdom away from that massive army. They thought they needed a mean, evil ruler to liberate them, when all they really needed was the Lord. And they couldn't see that. So they chose Barabbas over the kind and gentle and wise and loving King Jesus, God our Creator. And we do that still today. Every time we holler, vote, 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 we act as though that man is going to save us. Man can't save us from anything. And our disobedience to God is what has landed us where we are today. The only thing that can help us now is to avert our eyes back to the Lord, back to His Word, and to turn our hearts back to Him. It's the only thing. And will that save humanity? No. What is written will be, the fervent heat will still come, because it must. But true children of God know this, and they understand this, because all things that are evil must be destroyed. It's the only way to have the kingdom of heaven come to us, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Wherein dwelleth righteousness. It's time that we, as soldiers of the cross, actually do that and fight for the Word of God in our workplaces, on the streets. But you know what? We would have to start in our own homes first. How can you rule the church of God if you can't even rule your own home, your own temple, even your own self? How could you possibly rule the house of God? And yes, we're supposed to be doing these things like Paul and them did. And when there's sin in the camp, we're definitely supposed to get it out. We're supposed to instruct people in all things that are holy. Would you take a child, an infant that can't walk, that could barely crawl, and set it on a train track and leave it there and a train coming? That's exactly the same equivalent when you take these little sinners that are coming in that don't know what sin is, and the train being the sin, bam, and you set these little babies that haven't learned to walk in grace yet on the tracks in front of these sins. And you tell them just to read the word. How are they going to do that? They babies, they can't even read yet. They don't understand anything about the word of God whatsoever. How are they going to know how to just pick up the word and read it? But still, how is that going to form faith? Because faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. I do these videos now. Oh, God, I did forget to do that. Thanks for the reminder. In my zeal, I forgot, Lord. Forgive me. Lord just reminded me I forgot to say the Lord's Prayer when I started into the epistles of John. I am so sorry, Lord. Oh my gosh, I really did. I was just so excited to be kicking off and just going. See, even that. It's like kicking off the training wheels and trying to go on your own. There's a reason why I do the Lord's Prayer at the beginning of every new segment. It's because I want the Lord's will in all of it, not mine. His will, not mine, in all of my life. And so, in a moment, when I do, right before I get back into the epistles here in a moment, I will be doing the Lord's Prayer. First time I've done it in the middle of a segment before. I've done it in the middle of segments before, just not without doing it at the beginning first, I mean. But anyway, certainly if we forget a thing because of our own zeal and excitement, we should go ahead when it does come back to our mind and do that thing which God has taught us to do. But anyways, would you take babies and set them on the train tracks with a bottle and a diaper and say, here, if you poop on yourself, you got to clean yourself up? And I'm talking about like babies that are a day old to 6 months. Because there's a lot of new Christians in the church today. And we got to be careful with what we set before them. And certainly we don't want to teach them to set just these devices before themselves. We don't want to teach them that they have to train themselves up in the way they're to go. We want to be the active example of Jesus surely in their lives, saying, don't make the mistakes I made. Make better choices. Actually serve God. Actually serve God. and not man. I'll see you in the next part. We will be doing the Lord's Prayer.